session today. Tell me if I am audible. Can you hear me well?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
Can you see? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
Miss.
Yes, we
Okay.
can see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start. This is tag 4. It's part 2. We have started the debate of for and against. Some people were for the tuition of the university should be upon the individuals themselves, and others are against this idea because maybe it will be an overload on the Egyptian family. So they prefer that it's uh, be related to the government. We have started this part and this discussion last time. Let's see today we are going to deal with lesson. These are the rules of today. We should respect each other. You should be involved. If you don't answer a question, please keep yourself muted to avoid background noise. And we shouldn't interrupt each other. We encourage creativity and caring, helping each other. We are here. We agree that we are here to exchange experience. Okay, let's see. Today we have some objectives. Let's see our objectives today.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to T-Tag 4. By the end of this module, participants will be able to
These are our objectives of today. Let's start with an icebreaker because we have newcomers today, so we want to break the ice by asking some questions like a quiz or some proverb. Look at this. What do you think? What is it? What it is? This is a proverb. A stitch in time saves nine. What do you think it means? Stitch. Do you know the stitch? Stitch is something very, very small that when we use a needle, people who loves knitting work know the stitch.
Crochet.
Yes, yes, make very fantastic things from some certain stitches. Yes. So stitch in time saves nine. Can you guess what does it mean? This this proverb? A stitch in time saves nine. Does anybody want to share?
I
It
think
means take.
everything.
Yes.
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mister.
I think it means that anything, even it was very small, it can help us do achieve a great thing or achieve a great thing يعني أو
Yes. Yes.
do.
Excellent. Excellent. Brilliant answer. It means taking
I
care.
think
Yes.
it
Go ahead.
says suggested that taking prompt action to fix a small problem can prevent it from becoming a larger issue later on.
Yes. Excellent. Brilliant. So we should take care of our problems before they happen, before they become worse. So we save our time, effort, and money. We should treat things as soon as they happen. Excellent. Okay. Look at this proverb. Another one. Haste makes waste. What do you think it means? Haste. Haste means speed,
I think
being in a hurry. Yes, go ahead.
you should wait and make everything take your time
Yes,
because hurrying up is not a good thing.
yes. We may make mistakes because of hurry. So rushing is not necessary in many times. Excellent. Rushing through tasks often may help us to make more mistakes. Yes, excellent. What about this proverb? Don't judge a book by its cover.
Wait until you know the content of the book. Don't judge it from the title.
Yes, yes. And we can apply this on people because
On
we shouldn't.
human beings, yes, but
Yes,
you should judge people from the first reaction or the first deal with them. You can make one or two or three situations till you can judge them correctly.
yes. We shouldn't judge people by their appearance, for example. Let's see their meaning. We shouldn't judge people. Don't judge someone or something based solely on appearance. Yes, excellent. Now we are going to listen to a video or watch the video. But before we listen, I want you to take notes in every video we see today because we want to answer this question. What is the difference between traditional classrooms and using student-centered classroom using project-based learning? Because this is our topic of methodology today is about project-based learning. So we will use and apply and this approach in learning, and we will see how can we apply it in our classes to benefit our students more than the traditional classrooms. And we want to answer these questions as well. Why should educator apply PPL? This is the abbreviation or the short form of project-based learning in their classes. I want you to listen carefully and take notes, not to forget anything.
You remember what it was like in school. It was boring. You sat in class, memorized as much as you could, and tried to pass a test at the end. But is that good enough? These days, school can be more interesting and effective by focusing students on work that matters. This is project-based learning explained. Most adults live in a world of projects. Whether it's a job assignment, home improvement, or planning a wedding, we need to actively solve problems. But unfortunately, schoolwork looks more like this than this. Let's take a look at this project-based world. Meet Claire. She was recently presented with a challenge. Her company, Super Suds, makes soap, and it was up to her to find the most earth-friendly way to produce it in the future. Her boss gave her a budget and a few requirements, and it was up to her to come up with a solution. She organized and managed a team who researched the options and created materials summarizing the issues. Claire's team asked for feedback and presented their findings to the boss. Claire came out of the project looking like a rock star, and she learned a lot about green products. If you look closely, Claire's success involved critical thinking, collaboration, and communication, things that aren't often taught in traditional classrooms. The world needs more Claires, so how do we get them? The answer is project-based learning, or PBL. By focusing students on a project, teachers put them on a path that deepens their knowledge and builds skills they'll need in the future. Here's what I mean. Mr. Simmons has always been a good science teacher, and his students do well on Friday's tests. Unfortunately, what they learned was gone by Saturday morning. That wasn't good enough for him. Soon he learned about project-based learning and decided to give it a shot. Mr. Simmons got the idea for his first project on microorganisms when nearly half of his students were suddenly absent with the flu. He asked his students why they thought so many of their classmates got sick at the same time. That lively discussion produced a lot of good questions and a list of things the kids wanted to know. Mr. Simmons then announced their project was to help elementary school kids understand, how can we not get sick? After dividing the class into teams, he got them started on the project. It was up to the students to ask questions, research, collaborate, give each other feedback, and figure out the best ways to make their points clear to children. One team chose to make an educational video on the connection between hand washing and avoiding the flu. Another chose to create posters to show how viruses spread. The project teams showed off their final work to an enthusiastic audience of parents and their children at a nearby elementary school. Sitting in the front row was our good friend and local rock star Claire, who saw a bit of herself in the students. It was clear that the project was a success for the students, the audience, and Mr. Simmons. His students practiced critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. The project wasn't about memorization, but learning in depth about viruses and how to prevent spreading disease, a lesson they will never forget. At the end of the presentation, Claire introduced herself to the students and told them that they were rock stars and that the world needs more people who can think like them. To learn more about project-based learning, go to BIE.org.
Okay, tell me, is there a difference between traditional classroom and the classroom centered around the students? Which is better, the traditional classroom or the student-centered classroom?
The student center the classroom, sure.
Which one can teach you some memorable information that you won't forget even after the exam, when you pass the exam? Which one will deepen your knowledge and related to be authentic, related to solving problems in your life?
BBB.
Something you
Yes.
you learn by yourself. This is have a good effect and not forget it after the exam.
Yes, when students that learn something by doing things by themselves, researching for information, not depending on the teacher to spoon-feed them like what we do in the school in traditional classroom. The information, it won't be forgettable. In the traditional classroom, we find it boring. The students find it boring to sit in rows and listen to the teacher for a long time. Even their span of attention span is very little, particularly for elementary students. So we want them to be engaged. not just to pass the exam, to be effective, as you mentioned, to be related to real life situations. As you see, for example, planning a wedding or a job assignment in the future will need problem solving. So we should teach our students problem solving in the classroom and help them to communicate their ideas easily and present ideas without being afraid, to have self-confidence, a kind of collaboration in teamwork. When they do the project themselves, they collaborate because they work in teams. They will ask a question and answer the question. They will use critical thinking. They will make connection between what they learned before and what they are going to search for to find a solution to a certain problem that is challenging for them, for a question they wanted to answer. They wanted to figure out the answer of the question, so they will depend on some research. So this is a skill to search for the information, make connection, organize the information, and put them in file and try to present in public. These are the 21st century skills that we need to help students to get a good job in the future, to be employable for the skills needed in the future or labor force, labor market. I think this is the answer of the question. Okay, let's move on to next slide.
You remember what
This is the definition. I want you to give me the definition of project-based learning. Who wants to read this definition? This is the definition of project-based learning, or we can make a short form PBL.
Okay, Ms. Ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
Project-based learning, an approach in which students work on a project that engages them in solving a problem or answering a question. They demonstrate their knowledge and skills by developing a product or presentation. As a result, students develop content knowledge as well as critical thinking, creativity, and communication skills.
Look at the 21st century skills are included here, like communication, creativity, critical thinking, collaboration. Students collaborate to produce a product. We will find at the end a product, and this product will represent their understanding of the material you provided for them. And this will make sure or ensure their engagement. Look at the word engagement. Engagement. These are the key words here. Engagement, product, demonstrate product. With presentation skills, they will know presentation skills, and critical thinking, creativity, communication. These are the most important words that they are connected to this definition of project-based learning. Okay, according to your classes, tell me about these questions. Let's see. This is like a survey. How often do you assign projects? Rarely, occasionally, always. Who wants to share? Have you ever tried projects? To be honest, for me, I rarely ask students to do a project. Maybe because of limited time. What about you?
Miss, in the primary stage, there is a project at the end of every unit. So we ask our students to do this project at home, and they do these projects.
Yes. So I think you have examples of these projects. Can you give me an example?
Yes, we have a project of drawing clothes. They collect pictures for these clothes and stick them in their notebook. They write the name of each type under the picture.
Yes, this is a good.
There is also a project of doing a fishing stick. They were asked to bring a stick, string, paper clips, to do a project of how to fish in a river or in a sea. And they actually did this project. They were very happy.
Yes. I was going to ask you this question. How do children feel while they are doing these projects? They are engaged and they feel excited about learning, and they won't feel bored while doing these activities. And this information will be remarkable. They won't forget it at all because they learn by doing something and present their understanding of the topic of the unit by doing this project. Excellent. Good examples. I appreciate your efforts. Which kind of projects do you prefer most? What your children, the first one you explained is a glossary. We're using pictures and they describe these clothes using pictures and the definition. Yes, excellent. Good thing. Good work. Well done. What kind of project do you prefer? Art, designs? Sometimes we ask students to do some kind of origami or drawing pictures or technology, something related to getting something from online, like podcast, for example, something related to research or presenting something on Instagram or video or experiments by doing something like laboratories. What do you think? What kind of projects do you prefer? Yes.
I ask my students to use art designs. I already asked them to do something about meals. They already bring some pieces of cartons, and they make the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they color the cartons as if they are real meals. And I ask each student to make a sentence for what they are doing. One says, for breakfast, I have cheese. For dinner, I have fish. For lunch, I have meat, and so on.
Excellent. Brilliant work. Great. Which aspect seems challenging? Time management, resource group, dynamics. Which one? Which one is challenging? What are the challenges that face you? Time management? What prevented teachers from doing these projects or asking students or guiding them to do these projects? Lack of resources, maybe lack of resources, not the internet is not available for any person in the classroom. Group dynamics, sometimes they don't like to work in teams, they work individually, they prefer to work individually, or time management because we don't have enough time to ask students to do such projects. What do you think?
Yes, Miss Asma.
Yes, go ahead.
I think the first one, challenge time. Every student wants to show I'm here, I can do, I'm clever. So When some students are working, the other either or bored or they want to share at the same time. That makes some mess. The second one, I think, group dynamics. It's the same thing. Every student wants us to say, I'm here, I did it. He doesn't care of his students. We have in our classes a big problem. Selfishness. Every student, I'm the first. I'm better than you. We don't have the concept of cooperation that the Japanese teach their students. I think we should teach them to cooperate together to understand that the success of the team means we are all successful, but you're only successful if it's a complete success.
Yes, I agree with you because most of the Egyptians succeed when they work individually, but when it comes to groups or teams, we always find conflicts. Everyone wants to have a dominant idea, want to be a dominant rule in the group. As you mentioned, they are selfish and they don't respect each other. They want all to talk at the same time. And I so observed that in our classes. I agree with you. So gradually, step by step, they can learn that from the very beginning. You can set some norms at the very beginning of the year to respect each other. And when someone is speaking, you should listen to what he or she is talking. And we will discuss what he or she is talking about. Okay. Let's move on to the project work. We will work in groups or we will work together. What is a classroom project? We defined that. We will give examples of, and we give examples of classroom projects. We will have a cartoon below shows stages, and this is in your book. I think it's in page 35. In project work, put these pictures in this cartoon in the correct order. And tell me if you wanted to add something. Are there any other stages you wanted to add? And how does this project work if you find any benefits for? Let's see, this is the cartoon. Which one do you think is the first one? Let's see, which one is the first? Which picture? Put them in the correct order. What do you think? What is the first picture? Yes, go ahead.
Explaining what a project is.
Explaining what the project. Yes, this is the first one. I agree with you. What about the second one?
Working in a small team on aspects of the project.
I think it will be better if we give examples of possible
Passing space and
projects.
time for the project.
Yes. Yes, giving the examples will be the second one because to give students, even from the previous year, to give them examples of other students' project and they will imitate and they will add some kind of creative ideas to that, like a magazine work or a piece of music, something like that. Okay, what about the third picture? What do you think the third one will be?
I think discussing space and time.
Yes, you can allocate certain place for students and a certain time to be enough for students to complete their project. Excellent. What else? Number 4.
Deciding on the project.
Deciding on the project and planning.
Yes, we should set goals or ask first a question for students, and this question the complexity level of the question should suit the student level, their language level, and provide and divide them into teams and help them to work together, choose a good environment for them or safe environment for them to participate, encourage them. Plan and assign rules for them, they can give them the ability to choose a variety of options to choose from, to be independent. There is a principle which is called choice, voice and choice, voice and choice. Give them many choices to choose from, to be responsible for their education, for their learning. So what else? Number 5.
Working in
Discussing
small
space.
teams
Yes,
aspects
yes,
project.
yes. Great idea. And the last one will be the
Result.
present.
Presenting results.
Results. Presenting results.
Excellent, excellent. I'm proud of you all. Okay, let's see. This is the first one. Then the first one will be explaining what a project is. Then we have the second one, as you mentioned, giving examples of possible projects. The third one will be deciding space and time for the project. Then deciding on a project and planning. After that, we will find working in small teams on aspects of projects. And the last one, finally, we will present the results. Excellent. Okay, now we are going to listen to this video. Watch it and tell me what is critical thinking. Listen carefully, and I want you to take notes. What is the question you are going to answer?
Critical thinking.
Yes. Try to take notes, not to forget anything.
Welcome back to the series Teaching in the 21st Century. Today's topic, critical thinking. Take a moment and visualize. We live in a world surrounded by billions of people, each having their own views and perspectives, each having their own beliefs and understanding of the world around them. So how do you know what information is true and factual versus biased in opinion? This is where critical thinking comes into play. Let's take a closer look at critical thinking. What is critical thinking? Why is critical thinking such an important skill to learn? And how can we integrate critical thinking in our classroom? Critical thinking is the ability to take the information you have obtained through observation, reading, hearing, and experiences, and then evaluating it via analysis, questioning, understanding, synthesizing, and rationalizing, and therefore coming up with a model, a well-informed thought, or idea about how things might fit together or work. In simple terms, it is the process of breaking down what you know and information you have and then evaluating and critically analyzing it in order to make an informed decision without biases. Ultimately, it is the thought process of making a decision or coming up with a solution in a systematic manner. Critical thinking is a very difficult skill to acquire. As humans, we have an innate ability to think, and thought is a natural process that takes place. But at times, the thinking that occurs inside our head is skewed because of our own personal experiences or misinformed understanding, which in turn changes how we think of something or the decisions we make. Why is critical thinking an important skill to learn? Well, it is the process and related ability to remove all biases and misinformation a person might have, to look only at the facts and evidence, and then in a systematic way through sound and consistent logic and not social or emotional influences, apply analysis and evaluation. In today's world, people are surrounded by information, all types of information. It is their individual's responsibility to be able to critically analyze and make sense of the information to ensure that the information they take in or understand is accurate. The ability to ask questions on uncertain or debatable information is essential and crucial. What you see and hear is not always true or even based on facts. Sometimes it is just a point of view or conclusion based on personal experiences or biases. The ability to break down the thinking process is vital for success. Join us on part 2 as we look at how to integrate critical thinking in the classroom.
Keep yourself muted, please. Keep yourself muted. Keep yourself muted. Mute yourself, please. If you don't talk, please mute yourself to avoid the background noise. Okay, let us see what is critical thinking is. What is critical thinking? Who will tell me what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is the ability to take the information. We can take information. What is mentioned in this video is input. So we take this input. We can take it by observation or reading or listening, something we experience it, and evaluate this by making connection, by analyzing, by asking questions to ourselves, and until we come up with a model to know how things work. How can things work together? Even if we have a difficult thing, we can break it down until we find some manageable steps, small steps to make a decision without bias, without misunderstanding. We can decide if something is an opinion or a fact by using critical thinking to be, and we find evidence to what we say, not just the claims. No, we have evidence to what we say. We can find justifications to what we say. We can compare and contrast and make decisions without being emotional, without bias, without misinformation. This is what is critical thinking. Look at this slide. Look at this slide. It isn't clear enough. Look at these are the 21st century skills: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, and we call them 4 C's. We want our next generation or this generation to be informative. We provide them with information, with media, with technology, how to deal with media, how can they present without being shy or afraid or reluctant to participate. We wanted to have flexibility or resilience. Resilience means the ability to adapt to different situations. Even if I have a problem, and all of us will face problems in life, even and children as well have problems, to forget about their problems and concentrate on the present moment, to have a kind of mindfulness, to feel relaxed, to be happy, to small things that make them happy, and don't concentrate on the negative sides in their life. Try to look at the glass half full, not half empty. Try to optimistic, try to be positive towards life. This is flexibility, how to deal with problems in life, not to stop our life in a certain in the first obstacle or the first challenge that children meet or we meet in our life. Leadership, when they work in groups, they will have a leader of the group that will guide them. They will guide them towards different rules. Initiative. Even in our world, real world, we want people who are initiative. We don't want people to imitate each other. Some people will be initiative. They are most of the time they are leaders. They will start by themselves. Productivity, productive. When we apply that on our students, we need students to raise their productivity, their hours of study, by feeling having good mental health, and this will affect their academic performance, and this will affect their even overall well-being, their all well-being. Productivity means the time, the work or the study hours, and the time they finish. It's not good to find our child studying all the time, day and night, and the productivity is very low because they spent the whole day and night working without achieving something. So productivity is related to time as well. And social skills, how to deal with others, how to work in teams, how to communicate ideas to others, to avoid, how to manage conflicts, not to be, sometimes when we work together, there is a kind of dispute, conflict, problems. Everyone, as you mentioned, wanted to be dominant in the conversation. So communication skills are important, even in labor force or in labor market in the future. Okay. Uh, we are going to study how to plan a project. Today, we are going to plan a project, brainstorm ideas of how to plan a project. What is needed to plan a project? What do you think? What is needed to plan a project? The first thing is to set a goal, to find a question, a challenging question for students that they want to search for an answer to this question. This is the first thing. A title that is related to their interests, something related to their preference, to participate, to feel engaged, and they will be stimulated and motivated and want to participate and work together to answer this question. This is the first thing. What else? We should allocate time, should allocate a space or a place. We should provide them with materials, resources to find this, like the internet or some sources like some paper clips if you want to ask them to draw a poster or make a poster, paper clips, some colored paper, the materials they need. And they will work together, they will organize each other to work in groups, and they will find or figure out the solution to their problem and try to present it in public in front of others after discussing that with each other. So this will give them some kind of self-confidence, and they will be happy to share their ideas in front of the whole class and even the whole school. And sometimes in open days we can invite parents to see the work of their children, and they will be proud of themselves to participate and share the ideas in front of the parents. And we will engage the parents in the process, because this project, the students will go home and ask their parents to help them. So the parents will help their children. Okay. This is the definition. I want someone to read the definition again of the project-based learning. What is the definition? Hello, hello, hello. Oh,
Okay,
don't
Mrs.
use phone.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. Yes. Okay.
Is a student-centered approach where learners gain knowledge by working. Shh. Sorry, Miss.
Okay, welcome. You're welcome. So a student, this approach, PBL, is a student-centered approach where learners gain knowledge by working on extended projects addressing real-world challenges. So extended projects, so it's different from a little bit from task-based learning. The task can end at the same period or the same class, but extended project can be the whole semester or the whole year or the whole month to finish. You have extended time, and they collaborate with each other to finish this project. Okay. What about the goal? The goal.
Engage students in meaningful tasks that integrate language learning with inquiry, problem solving, and collaboration.
Excellent. Okay. Good work. Project-based learning and its elements. what are the elements of this project-based learning. You are going to watch this video and take notes, please, about the benefits. I will ask you about the benefits. What are the benefits of the this project-based learning?
Hello, teachers. Welcome to class. I'm Cindy Farr, and today we're talking about how we can challenge our students, get them excited about learning, go deeper into content, and remember what they've learned longer. Project-based learning, or PBL, could be our answer. Research shows that PBL, compared with traditional teaching methods, does increase student engagement, deeper knowledge, and knowledge retention. PBL, as defined by Edutopia, is a dynamic classroom approach in which students actively explore real-world problems and challenges and acquire a deeper knowledge. PBL may sound new, but its roots go all the way back to the late 1600s. That's when the idea of teaching using projects emerged as an educational movement in architecture and engineering. Its foundations are also related to the theory of constructivism, in which students have an active role in their learning. So what does PBL look like in today's classroom? For the answer, we turn to the Buck Institute for Education, or BIE, a nonprofit organization helping teachers prepare students for successful lives by showing them how to use project-based learning. The BIE website describes the 3 essential components of what it calls gold standard PBL. First, student learning goals. That includes knowledge of content standards and the ability to apply that knowledge to the real world using 21st century skills. The second component is essential project design elements, beginning with an engaging problem or driving question like, how can we improve our school recycling system to reduce waste? Other design elements of PBL include an authentic or real-world application, such as improving a local park, and student voice, meaning that students care more about their projects if they have a voice in choosing them, and reflection to help students and teachers think about the approach to the next assignment. Then comes critique and revision. Students give and receive feedback. And finally, a public product. Because when students share their products within or outside the school community, it encourages higher quality work. And the third component of Gold Standard PBL is project-based teaching practices. That's right, here's your part. Design and plan, align the assignment to standards, build the culture which promotes student independence and growth. Then manage the activities with checkpoints and deadlines. Scaffold student learning with tools and strategies to help kids reach their goals. Assess student learning using formative and summative assessments. And finally, engage and coach students. What we're really talking about is a transformation of the traditional classroom as the teacher changes roles from the often quoted sage on the stage to guide on the side. But this change isn't always easy. According to the Buck Institute, one of the biggest hurdles for many teachers is the need to give up some degree of control over the classroom and trust in their students. Another challenge with PBL is the time it takes students to complete projects. Despite these issues, there are so many benefits to project-based learning that have been researched and documented. Let's look at that evidence. In a 2011 study, researchers determined that PBL had successfully exposed students to important workforce skills such as teamwork, managing conflicts, decision-making, and communication skills. In 2013, a study was conducted on the effect of PBL on the success of 6th graders in science class, and researchers found that group significantly outperformed the other students who learned with traditional teaching methods. In the article, The Cognitive Science Behind the Common Core, the authors discuss the close relationship between PBL and the Common Core emphasis on deeper understanding, higher order thinking skills, and real-world application. The authors say those benefits of PBL are well documented and that it may also be an effective instructional tool to narrow the achievement gap for low-performing students. To sum it up, project-based learning, or PBL, has enormous potential to better prepare students for the workforce they will be entering someday, while helping them to remember and enjoy their learning a lot more along the way.
Tell me, what are the benefits of PBL?
Okay, Ms. Asma.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I think that it gets the students excited about what they learn and go deeper in the content.
Excellent. What else?
Yes, Ms. Asma.
Yes, go ahead.
I think it helps students to organize their ideas. It's a kind of organization.
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Asma.
Yes, go ahead.
I think it increases cooperation between students and learns them to cooperate. And also, it gives them the chance to see the outcome of their work, like what mentioned in the video. We have some products. They will be proud of these products. They may get money from it.
Excellent. All of you, thanks for your participation. There are a lot of benefits, like students will have excitement, they will play active roles in learning, they will be responsible for their learning, they will choose some of the topics they are going to study or do research about. Engagement, they will go deeper into knowledge, they will develop 21st century skills which are needed in the workforce. And how to solve the problems, communication skills, teamwork, how to manage conflicts and have resilience. They will enjoy the learning and will remember the information because they are relevant to their real life world. Excellent. Good job.
Hello.
These are the benefits. Let's read. Does anybody want to read? These are the benefits. I want someone to read the benefits of project-based learning.
Okay, I can do it.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Benefits project work to learners. Choosing a project topic which interests learners is motivating, provides opportunities for them to create something in English using English. Projects are fun to do. Learners have control over the end result. They can relate it to their life outside the classroom, giving learners the responsibility for the planning, development of their project contributes towards learners' independence.
Excellent. Thanks, Ms. Shireen. Thanks a lot. Okay. Look at this video and tell me how.
Hello and welcome to Teachings in Education, project-based.
I want you to take notes about how can educators implement PBL in class. And this is the most important thing because we as teachers need that in our class. How can we teach that or can apply that in our classrooms?
Learning, capture your students' attention with real-world problem. Project-based learning is often abbreviated to the acronym PBL, which will be used throughout the video. So, why should educators use PBL in their classroom? Projects are often assessed through presentations Having students present more often helps students develop better communication skills. Many times, project assignments allow students to work with their hands and complete tasks. It's important for them to have developed some of these 21st century life skills. Projects are assigned as group activities. Being able to work with others is a necessary component of countless fields of work. PBL really comes in handy for those situations where students are just plain old bored of lectures. The best part of PBL is that it increases student engagement. Students will actually enjoy working on these projects and be much more pleasant while working. Who is PBL meant for? Now, it can be used for any student. However, it is most effective on certain types of students. At-risk students benefit the most from project learning. These students obviously struggle with typical classroom learning. PBL can be used for many different classes, but PBL is most prevalent in social studies, science classes, and art classes as well. One common misconception is that project-based learning is only meant for upper grade level courses. However, PBL may be incorporated from grades kindergarten through 12th grade. How to implement PBL in our classroom. Every class project should begin with a driving question that is specifically aligned to a learning goal. The level of complexity of the driving question should be appropriate for the type of students in the classroom. The next step for implementation is the inquiry process. Students should apply learned knowledge, ask and answer critical thinking questions, and locate resources. In the next step, students find a solution to the driving question. Here is where students solve the problems, oftentimes with creations, models, and presentations. And the last step is to allow students to make their projects available to the public, to give students a voice. Now that we have done all this talking about PBL, let's take a look at some classroom examples. Here are a few of my personal creations that I am very proud of. This is a project where I asked students to build a model of the Titanic and examine the ways the ship could have been built much better. It is a 6th grade social studies project and includes reasoning, writing, and research. The following project asked students to find the proper measurements and create a scale frame of a 2-bedroom hip model house. It was for a 12th grade math analysis course. And the last project asked students to convert from feet to inches and use the measurements to paint and create a miniature basketball court. It was actually used for an at-risk Algebra 1 course. Right now, I would just like to say thank you for your time and please subscribe to the channel.
How can educators implement? Did you take notes? How can we implement that? What is the first step to implement this approach?
Yes, now I think the first step is to give them the challenging questions that need to be answered.
Yes.
That motivates them to search.
Yes, good job. And this question should be suitable to the level of students in the language. Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
What is the next step?
Yes, Miss.
Go ahead.
Miss Asma.
Yes.
The second step is inquiry process. And
yes,
the
excellent.
last one is the find a solution.
Yes, yes, excellent. Inquiry process, we apply what students learn and locate some resources for them. They will ask and answer some critical questions and they will try to find the solution to these problems. They will figure out the findings and the creation and present that in front of others through a product. The project will be available to everybody. Excellent. I appreciate your efforts all. Thanks a lot. As you mentioned, this is the answer of the question. Let's see, driving question. And let students choose something: inquiry, innovation, collaboration, and interaction with students. They cooperate with each other. Reflection is essential here. It's a key because this will give students ability to refine their work. They can modify something, they can adjust something to be better. With reflection, we assess students according to a rubric. Rubric is some standards that we work upon, not to be biased. And finally, the public product will be shared and presented in front of others. Good job. The processes of CPL. Let's see. We start with a question. This is like a mind map. Look at this: research and explore. We summarize what we said in a mind map to be memorable for students. Create a plan. Work iteratively. Iteratively means to refine work, to give feedback, to refine the work, to make it better according to the guidelines that the teacher provide for the students. Then present and assess. Look at the question. We set a frame or a problem challenge. In the research process, students investigate, gather information. When they create a plan, students develop the project, their ideas, set goals. They refine their work with the feedback, according to the feedback that the teacher can give, or the students. There is a kind of peer feedback. Students themselves can exchange feedback with each other, and some comments, constructive feedbacks will help students to adjust their work and modify it for the best, for the better. Final project presentation and evaluation. Preparing teachers for PPL. Project planning, we have planned the project and classroom management. And finally, assessment. How about project planning? What do you think? What do you think comes in this stage? Project planning. What do you think project planning will be? Plan a project.
Yes, Ms. Asma.
Yes, go ahead.
I think I'll choose a problem or a question that is interesting to ask for students in first prep year. How can we solve the problem of water scarcity? I ask them to give some solutions, and I will divide them. Some will make a chart board, some can make a PowerPoint, some can make give us some tools or do some experiment to show this, like using some bottles or recycling some bottles, or making the experiment of evaporation to show how can we solve this problem.
Excellent. So you will give your students voice and choice. Again, voice and choice. They will give them a variety of choices to choose from, to be responsible of their education and their learning. They will be more engaged and will be more excited. Excellent. We choose something that is aligns with the language level of students, related to learning objectives. They work together. And it should be relevant to other subjects. As you see, the curriculum of Connect, many subjects are correlated. They are interacted with each other. Classroom management, the balance structure with the student independence. And The assessment, according to the rubric, we can assess the progress of students, not just the final product. Yes, good job. Let's see here some kinds of group work, or look at these children, how everyone will participate, everyone will work, they work together to finish the project, because all of them have the same target, the same goal is to succeed, and their project will succeed. In writing, for example, we can ask students to write some blogs to cope with technology, some journals. In speaking, they will have some presentations, interviews. In listening, they will do research, listen to a guest speakers. They will role play a conversation. Maybe they create the conversation by themselves. Example, we have an example here, community interview project or environmental campaigns. These are examples of different skills that we can implement in our classrooms to integrate different skills. Application, how can we apply that in our classroom? Let's see. Even if we don't have, you told me that at the end of each unit, there is a project that will help students to represent what they understood in the unit. So even if the textbook doesn't have this project, how can we implement that? Look at these ideas of how to apply PBL in textbooks. We have a traditional way. Look at the traditional way and how can we transform it, change it to the best, to be better than the traditional way that we accustomed to doing. Transform traditional tasks into project. We have vocabulary, and I think one of our colleagues today at the very beginning told us that she asked students to do a glossary of pictures with definitions, and they did that. Look at the traditional way, vocabulary practice. Students create mini dictionary. We ask students to write just in the traditional way some vocabulary, list of vocabulary and their meaning in Arabic. But when we ask them to create dictionary, mini dictionary with glossary, this will be a fantastic idea on a topic. So we will divide the books into topics. For example, a unit is talking about environmental issues, another one will talk about tourism, another one will talk about climate change, different topics. Present it to the class. The project will be students will find the meaning of the words, the definition, how to use this vocabulary in sentences, in context, how to illustrate each word with images. So it will be a nice project that will represent their understanding of the vocabulary. Okay, let's move on to the next one. What about grammar lessons? Can traditional grammar lessons, which are boring and most of the students don't like, into a project with great excitement? Let's see. What about the grammar activity? For example, if we teach students zero conditional, instead of completing the grammar drills, they have students to create a class guidebook or video tutorial on how to use conditional sentences in real life situations. What about the project? Can you read this project about grammatical points? I want someone to read that. The project related to grammar.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, go ahead.
Dialogues or scenarios where they explain conditions and outcomes using the zero conditional records themselves, acting out these scenarios and share them with peers.
Yes, good job. When we ask students to share some of their activities they do. For example, if I get up early, I always catch the bus, something like that, related to their real life, and they even in voice note and share that with their students in a group on WhatsApp or something. Will be exciting. Everyone will want to participate and share. I think it's good to try such things with students. Look at this. What about transforming the traditional tasks in writing to be a project? Let's see if the textbook includes writing tasks like essays or reports, expand it into a real world life. A project like writing an article for the school newsletter. If they're going to write something in the magazine, it will be more interesting. Creating a blog on the benefits of playing sports or leading a healthy lifestyle. This will be more engaging and will be more interesting for students. What about the projects? Who will read the project?
Okay,
Yes,
Miss
ma'am.
Asma.
Students
Yes, go ahead.
research.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Students research, draft, and revise an article. Then they collaborate on a layout and presentation for the newsletter or blog.
Excellent. Excellent. I think if you ask students to write the essay and you hang it in a magazine in the classroom, it will be encouraging and they will be involved to participate. You will ask them all of them to write article about certain topic, and you will choose the best one. So there is a kind of to be put in the magazine. There will be a kind of competition. This magazine, it can cost you nothing. You will get a chart, just a chart, and you will divide it into parts and write parts. A part for example, environmental issues, a part related to social life, a part related to proverbs and wisdom, their meanings. They will compete. Like when we ask them to present something in the broadcasting, many students will try to uh, do activity in broadcasting and will get material. They will search, they will look for information, they will uh, compete. What about the reading task? Reading task. Instead of reading and answering the comprehension questions, they have students turn the text into a news broadcast. So it changes the text in from the reading text, the traditional reading text, into a podcast episode. So it will be more interesting. And I have tried changing the text into a role play. Some students imagined that someone is an interviewer and another one interviewee. They ask and answer some questions related to the reading passage, and it was a very nice experience, and they enjoyed, engaged, they involved in the process. And I made it as a video and shared it among the students. They were very proud of themselves, and their parents were proud of you, and they thank you for this work, this encouragement. Okay, what about the project? I want someone to read it.
Yes, Miss Asma.
Go ahead.
After reading a text about the benefits of sports, students script a new report and film or record it, discussing the key ideas as if presenting to approach audience.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, let's move on to another slide. Here is the listening activity. How can we change the listening activity instead of students that can create public awareness campaign based on the content they listen to. If we have like look at this project after listening to an audio, students create posters, flyers, or short videos promoting the message and share it with others. Yes, in the school. Look at the next one. These are the components of PPL. Set a clear project goal. It's important to set a goal and incorporate collaborative work, make room for inquiry and research, embed reflection and feedback, use rubric to assess projects, public products. Do you understand the meaning of all these steps? These are the steps to implement any kind of projects with your students. Do you understand all these steps? What should we do when we set the first one? Set goals. Introduce a real world challenge or a problem related to the lesson content. For example, if the lesson is about sports and health project, this is an example. Design a health campaign for your school, encouraging students to stay active and eat healthy. What about the second step? Incorporate collaborative work. How can we apply that? Who will read the steps we can apply? Who will read? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Miss.
Go ahead.
Even if the book has individual tasks, you can create group-based work. Let students research a topic, benefits of different sports in groups, collaborate on creating a product, poster, video, a presentation.
Brilliant. The next step is to make room for inquiry and research. Who will read?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Instead of providing answers in the textbook, guide students to research the answer using external source. Example, what does health is wealth mean in different cultures? Ask them to interview peers, teachers, or community members about how they stay healthy.
Good job. The next step will be embed, includes reflection. Embed means include reflection and feedback. After completing a project, create opportunities for students to reflect on their own learning and teamwork, present their findings or projects to the class for feedback. The fifth stage is how to use rubric. These are the standards upon which we can assess the students. Who will read?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Develop
develop
rubrics to
rubrics.
assess.
Okay.
Complete, Miss.
Go ahead, Mister.
Okay, Mister, go ahead.
To develop rubrics to assess not just context knowledge, but also critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication. This approach will allow you to adapt the existing lessons into more dynamic, student-centered, and inquiry-based learning environment, even without direct PBL activities in the textbook.
Excellent. What about the next stage? Examples of application to your class for the lesson on the benefits of sports, the project idea, Create a school-wide campaign to promote physical activity. The steps: research how sports improve health and teamwork. Interview fellow students about their favorite sports. Create posters, a video, or a blog to encourage others to join sports club. Micro teaching: if we were in the face-to-face, I will ask you to do micro teaching using PPL. But now let's move on to another stage in the classroom: planning and presentation. Listen to this video and tell me, why is presentation important? Why is presentation, you can take notes. Why is presentation important?
Hey guys, so I've always been a big proponent of teachers designing learning experiences that are real world and authentic. It is one of the core pillars of the education design framework that David Hotler, Jessica Williams, and I developed, called the ACT project, which is a design framework that teachers use to simulate or directly use effective behaviors, practices, strategies found in the real world. The design pillar is called transdisciplinary pedagogy, which is the implementation of any teaching approach where students take on the role of professionals and/or engage in complex real-world challenges, questions, and problems. One of the most important components to transdisciplinary pedagogy is the audience, providing students with an authentic audience, having an audience that goes beyond the classroom, and providing learners with a public venue to showcase their work. This can motivate learners to create high-quality work, wanting to show their best to the public audience. I'd like to share an example project that my friend Gary Gray designed and implemented that provided his students with an authentic task and authentic audience. His students wrote poems about their self-identity and then performed them in their own Deaf Poetry Jam, inspired by the spoken word poetry TV show on HBO in the 2000s. Gary decided to have students present to their parents and friends using something called Instagram Live, a feature on Instagram that allows users to stream video to followers and engage with them in real time. This performance was not only seen by family and friends, but also by Gary Gray's large following on Instagram. By providing an authentic audience for his students, Gary was able to help them see the purpose of all their hard work and connect their work to the real world.
sunny days and rain showers. I am from being alone with nature to being accompanied by friends. I am from the land of middle sisters to the great Midwest. I am from happy thoughts to sad memories. I am from a place I call home.
Thanks for watching. I just want to give a big shout out to Gary Gray for allowing me to come to his classroom and videotape his Deaf Poetry Jam. As always, please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, tell me, what is the importance of presentation?
Yes, miss?
Yes, go ahead.
I think it gives them a kind of self-confidence, as the people can talk to in front of his friends in a very in a big self-confidence.
Yes. Students worked hard and they should show their best to the public. This, as you mentioned, excellent self-confidence. Like here, Instagram Live, using stream videos, using authentic audience to be connected their work to real world, to real life, to technology, to cope with technology. This is a good example of presenting their work using this is a kind of summary or a mind map of the project presentation. It can be poster, app, video, story, mind map, role play, blog, audio. These are different examples. Let's move on to the next part of our session today, which is the pronunciation lesson.
Hey everyone, welcome to elementalenglish.com. Today's lesson.
Listen to this video and listen carefully. Which words should we stress in the sentence? Content words can be the verbs, nouns, adjective, adverb. These are called content words, or the functional words, or sometimes we call them grammatical words, which are like articles, prepositions. Which one should be? This is the general rule. Which one it should be stressed or focused or emphasized in the words, because they convey the meaning. Which ones? And tell me, can we change the stress of words in sentences, and why? Listen.
Hey everyone, welcome to elementalenglish.com. Today's lesson is on emphasis in English, an English pronunciation lesson. In English, the general rule is that we stress content words, those words that carry meaning in a sentence, such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, negatives, etc. We then give the most emphasis to the focus word in a sentence or phrase. This is the word that the speaker determines is the most important to the meaning of the sentence. Although the focus word is often the last content word in a group or new information, native English speakers will use their voice to emphasize any word in a sentence to express a message. So, English speakers express messages and emotions just with the music of their voice and without even saying any words. Let's practice how native English speakers emphasize different words in a sentence to change the underlying meaning and emotion. Listen and repeat. Can you hear what message I'm sending to the listener with my voice? Write your answers and questions in the comments. So, you think you can dance? So 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 you think you can dance?
Which words, what is the common rule?
Don't forget to subscribe to the Elemental English channel on YouTube. Ask your questions in the comments. And if this lesson was helpful to you, feel free to share it with...
Which one? Content words or functional words? In most
content
cases,
words.
yes, content words should be focused because they carry the meaning. Okay, can we change the stress of the words in the sentence?
Yes.
Yes, according to what?
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
What I want to emphasize.
yes, according to the meaning I want to emphasize. Excellent, excellent, good job. Let's move on to the pronunciation, and When speakers stress some words or some syllables, the pitch will go higher, will be more dominant, the vowel itself will be longer, will be clearer. But on the other hand, unstressed words have lower pitch, less dominant, with shorter and weaker vowels, shorter vowels. Okay. As you mentioned, and as we understood from the video, that content words, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and main verbs are usually stressed. Function words, determiners, the prepositions, the conjunctions are usually unstressed unless you want to emphasize the role in the sentence. Question words, who, what, when, where, why, how, are usually unstressed unless you want to emphasize the rule in the sentence. Subject pronouns I, you, he, she, we, they are usually unstressed, while object pronouns me, you, him, her, us, them are usually stressed. Which one is stressed? Subject pronouns or object pronouns?
Object.
Yes, object pronouns are, in most cases, object pronouns are stressed. Excellent. Good job. Okay. Listen and tell me what is sentence stress.
Hi everyone, it's Kate here, and today's video is a nice simple lesson on sentence stress. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Now, sentence stress is a very important aspect of communication in English. Of course, we all know that it's important that we try to use the right words when we're speaking, but it's also just as important to think about how we say them, and that's where sentence stress comes in. So what exactly is sentence stress? Well, it's where we emphasize or highlight a particular word with how we say it. So you may have noticed there that I stress the word how because my main point here is the way that we're speaking. In English, we tend to stress the most important words in the sentence, just as I've done here. We can add stress to a word by making it longer, louder, or even just by using a slightly different pitch. When you're speaking English, the words you stress can really change the meaning of a sentence, and we're going to look at exactly how that works by looking at some examples together. So first of all, let's look at the simple sentence. I really love your cooking. I really love your cooking. So which word did I stress there? That's right, I stressed your, because I want to emphasize that I especially like your cooking rather than anybody else's. Here's another example. I like what you're wearing. I like what you're wearing. So which word did I stress here? Exactly, I put the stress at the beginning on the word I. So what I'm saying is that I really like what you're wearing, but it also implies that other people may not necessarily like it as much as I do. Does that make sense? Now let's look at another sentence together, which can have many levels of meaning depending on which word we choose to stress. So let's look at this sentence. Tom will drive to the airport on Monday. I've just read that in a very neutral tone of voice without any sentence stress. But if the question that comes before is who is going to go to the airport, the stress will naturally be on the word Tom. So Tom will drive to the airport on Monday. So you can hear I stress the word Tom because that's the key word here. We're not talking about James, Linda, or anybody else. We're making it very clear that it's definitely Tom that will be going to the airport. Now, if the question that comes before is how will Tom get to the airport, then the stress will naturally be on the word drive. Tom will drive to the airport on Monday. Tom will drive to the airport on Monday. The stress on this word makes it very clear that Tom will not be cycling or taking a taxi or getting to the airport in any other way. The stress here is very clearly on the word drive. If the question is where is Tom going on Monday, then the stress will naturally be placed on the word airport. Tom will drive to the airport on Monday. The stress here also makes it very clear to our listener that Tom will not be driving to any other places, such as the train station or a shopping centre, just the airport. Now, if the question is when will Tom go to the airport, of course the stress will naturally go on the word Monday. Tom will drive to the airport on Monday. By emphasising the word Monday, we're making it very clear to our listener that this will only be happening on Monday and not on any other day of the week. So let's review what we've learnt here. Now, as you can see from the examples we just looked at, sentence stress is a very important aspect of communication in English. If stress is not used correctly, then our listener may misunderstand us or perhaps even misinterpret what we mean. And of course, nobody wants that. Sentence stress is simply a way that we can highlight the key words in our sentences in terms of how we say them, to really enable our listener to focus on the most important information being said. So I really hope you found this lesson helpful. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you liked this video and found it helpful, please.
What is sentence stress?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
content. The content words.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
go ahead.
The way of saying something.
Yes.
How can I convey something to others? I can use the facial expressions, I can use the gestures, and anything else.
Yes.
Yes, Miss Asma.
Yes, go ahead.
In the sentence stress, I can, in special words that is the most important, I can raise my voice or make the vowel to some extent louder. Like Tom will drive to the airport tomorrow.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good job. Thanks for your participation, all of you. Sentence stress means that the word that I emphasize, I highlight by the way I pronounce it, because this word I focus on because it conveys a certain message I wanted to raise. So I make a longer vowel, louder, higher in pitch. Okay, excellent.
Please give it a thumbs up. And don't. Hi, everyone.
Now we are going to listen to some. Remember the argument you have produced earlier for or against students paying their own fees. And these are sentences. Look at the sentences. I want you to tell me which word, listen carefully, and underline in your books. Underline the word that carries the meaning, and you will listen it a little bit louder. The placing stress correctly helps to convey something in the argument. What are you going to do? You are going to underline the most important word that the speaker is talking about. So listen carefully and determine which one will take the loudest word or the higher in pitch. Which one is longer? Discuss which word of each sentence carries the meaning, the main stress. What are you going to do? You're going to underline the the stressed word, just one word in each sentence that the speaker is going to emphasize with a little bit higher in pitch. You understand what are you going to do? We are going to listen to some sentences for and other sentences against. Stress. We stress the most important point we want to make. So listen carefully and underline the word that you hear the louder. Okay, listen.
Module 3, 4.1, Stress for Emphasis. Paying their own fees could make people really value education.
It makes students committed to getting their degree.
Education can become a burden on the state.
It's up to each individual family to pay for the children's education.
Not everyone can afford to pay fees.
It's really unfair.
Students may have to work while they're studying.
Students have large debts once they go to work.
It's the government's duty to provide education.
Students are going to contribute to society when they've graduated.
Did you do it? Do you want to listen again?
Module
Play it
3,
again, please.
4.1, Stress for Emphasis. Paying their own fees could make people really value education.
It makes students committed to getting their degree.
Education can become a burden on the state.
It's up to each individual family to pay for the children's education.
Not everyone can afford to pay fees.
It's really unfair.
Students may have to work while they're studying.
Students have large debts once they go to work.
It's the government's duty to provide education.
Students are going to contribute to society when they've graduated.
Did you do it? Let's check our answers. Which word is emphasized in the first sentence?
Value. Value.
Yes, excellent, value. Good job. Number 2?
Committed.
Committed. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Number 3?
Education.
A burden. A burden is emphasized. What about number 4?
Individual
family. 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 Yes. What about number 5?
Afford.
Excellent. Number 6?
Unfair.
Unfair. Excellent. So they pronounce the vowels in these sentences longer and louder. Yes. Good job. Number 7?
Work.
Excellent. Excellent. Number 8?
Large. Hello there.
Debts. Debts. Yes. Number 10?
Government duty.
Excellent. 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 The last one?
Students
Contribute. Contribute. Yes. Good job. I appreciate your efforts. As you mentioned, these are the answers. Good job, all of you. Let's move on to word stress. And word stress is different from the previous one. Previously, I told you that sentence stress. Certain words are stressed in the sentence, but now certain syllables are stressed in the word. And how can we know them? Because they are a little bit difficult. We know them by checking the dictionary. Will help us to know. If we have two syllabic word, I mean a word with 2 syllables. If the word is a noun or an adjective, so the stress will usually goes on the first syllable. So it is capitalized. When we utter this word, when we pronounce it, we'll say table. So the vowel A is longer. We can't say table. No, table. So the stress will be on ta, the first syllable. Happy, the stress will be on ha, happy, because it's a noun, table, and it consists of 2 syllables, and happy is an adjective consists of 2 syllables, so we stress the first syllable, so it is capitalized. While if we have a 2-syllabic word and we find this word is a verb or a preposition, we stress on the second. The stress will go on the second syllable. For example, arrive, arrive. We stress this part. Arrive. So we stress arrive. Between. The stress will go on ween. Between. Tween will be more emphasized, more stressed. Look at the word record and record. If we pronounce it record, so it's a noun. So the stress will go on the first syllable. And the same writing, record, so it's a verb. When we stress the second syllable of the same word, it will be a verb. What about the word desert and desert? Desert, the stress will go on the first part, the first syllable. But dessert, the stress will be something sugar or tasty we eat after meal. Dessert, we stress second part, the second syllable. What about the word desert? Desert is a noun. But what about the verb desert? Desert, look at this one. Desert, desert can be a verb. It means a leaf. So it will have the same pronunciation as dessert, or something tasty or delicious we eat, like cakes or chocolate that we eat after meal. The verb dessert, which means leaf, will be very similar to dessert, like cakes. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the 3-syllabic words. Most 3-syllabic words, if they are nouns, adjectives, verbs, the stress goes on the first syllable. Like some words we have here, examples. Parliament, so the stress will be on the first part, or the first syllable. Parliament, it's a noun. Limited, the stress on limited. And celebrate is a verb. Celebrate. So is the first syllable, so it will be will have the stress. 3-syllable words ending with ly, usually the stress goes on the first syllable. For example, silently, noisily, so the stress on sigh, on noisily. Happily, the stress will be, because all of them are adverbs and consist of 3 syllables and end with ly. The 3-syllable words ending in cy, al, ty usually stress on the second syllable. For example, pregnancy, the stress was man. Pregnancy, financial, it ends with cy, pregnancy, financial. Quality, the stress on quality, quality. But every rule can have some exceptions. Look at the word remember. Remember is a verb, and it consists of 3 syllables, but the second syllable will take the stress. Remember, mem will take the stress. What about if the word ends with ik, or we have the suffix jan and shan? We have here some exception or another exception. Perfection, 3-syllable words, 3-syllabic words, but the second syllable will take the stress. Perfect, perfection. Look at this, perfection. The stress will go to the second from the last, the second last syllable. The last syllable is shan. The second last one is fik. So the stress will be on fik. Perfection, perfection, fik. If we have 3 or 4 syllable words and end with shan, so the stress will be come right before the suffix or the second one from the last. We can say it in different ways. The second one from the last or comes right before the suffix. The suffix will be shan. So the second one perfect, fik. If we have ik or suffix like this, shan and jan, the stress will be on the second one from the last. Look at geography, geographic, commission, the stress on me, information. Look at may, we stress may, so it comes longer. Implication, K, we stress this part. If you have 4 words, 4 syllables, 4 syllabic words, so the stress comes on the second or third syllable. For example, appreciate, appreciate, bacteria, bacteria, diplomatic, may will take the stress. If we have 4 syllable words and end with cy, t, fi, g, the stress will go on the second syllable. For example, democracy, capacity, photography. Look at photo, takes the stress. Apology, po will take the stress. Compound words. We have 2 kinds of compound words. Compound nouns will take the first word. First word will take the stress. Look at football. Football will take foot. Surfboard. Surf will take the stress. But if they are compound adjectives, so the stress will go on the second word. Bad-tempered, short term, so the stress will go on tempered. Sentence stress again, this is the rule. Who wants to read the rule? Who wants to read the rule? Sentence stress rules. Stress within words doesn't change very often, but stress within sentences can vary a lot. Content words, we can split English words roughly into 2. Content words and function words. Content words in sentences carry sentences meaning, and function word give structure. Content words are nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverb, negative, passive, pronouns, quantifiers, and here are some examples. While function words don't usually get the stress in sentences, here is a list of function words shouldn't take the stress: auxiliary verbs, conjunctions, determiners, prepositions, pronouns, and verb to be. This is in the magazine part. This is a question I want to elicit. What is the title? Let's see the title of the magazine again. The magazine is the magazine for teachers everywhere, project work for teenagers. Here we have a question for you. Elicit some adjectives for describing teenagers. What are the adjectives? Can you describe them? If we have a teenager, What adjectives can you describe a teenager?
Maybe irrational.
Yes,
Always
excellent.
rebel. Always
Yes.
rebel.
Yes, good job. What else?
Stubborn.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. What else? See, teenagers. Teenagers are lively. They are always active. They are energetic. Excellent. Your answers are very creative and creative. They always come up with new ideas. As you mentioned, moody. They have different attitudes towards the life. Sometimes they laugh out loud and they are optimistic. Sometimes they have negative opinions, negative ideas. They are naughty sometimes. As you mentioned, they are stubborn. Yes, excellent. Okay, I think we discussed most of these items, not to waste our time. Advantages of projects, how to plan. Let's see. We mentioned all of them. Possible drawbacks. Drawbacks may be limited time, and may sometimes we find not all the students are engaged in the group. They depend on others because you give them freedom to work together. So some will work, others will be dependent. Example of possible projects, we mentioned that. I think we mentioned that. And the advantages, these are the advantages, and let's read them quickly. Increase the motivation, we integrate all the skills, autonomous learner, they are responsible of their education, learning outcomes, we find a product at the end of the project. We use authentic language, authentic input, interpersonal skills. Interpersonal means the communication skills, content and methodology. Look at the advantages. There are some other advantages. Learners often get help from parents or projects, thus the parents are involved. Offer break from routine, so they are something exciting, they enjoy something different. Content established which balances the need for fluency and accuracy, both of them. We concentrate on, focus on not just the accuracy, but we help them to be fluent. This is the magazine, and let's move to the vocabulary. This is a good example of how to use collocation. I want you to work and tell me scheme of what. Can you match these parts? Scheme of what? What is scheme of? Scheme means a plan of a. Scheme of what? Try to guess. Scheme of?
Project.
Scheme of the project.
Work.
Scheme of work. Yes. Work. Yes, excellent. Okay, let's see another one. Yes, excellent. International.
Learning.
لا مش international, interpersonal بقى. Interpersonal. Interpersonal. Relations. Yes, interpersonal relation. Excellent. Wall.
Display.
Yes, wall display. Yes, we hang our pictures on the wall, so it's wall display. Yes. Open. We invite parents to come to that day. Open
learning.
No. Open.
Relation.
Yes, we invite all the parents, and sometimes we have celebration at school. Open day. Ask parents to come. Students participate and share their presentations. Yes, autonomous.
Learning.
Yes.
Learning.
Project.
Evaluation.
Excellent.
Learning.
Excellent. Yes, and the last one is surf.
Surf the internet.
Yes, surface the internet. Excellent. These are the answers, as you mentioned. Let's revise them. Yes, as you mentioned, you get them all correct. These are the disadvantages or drawbacks of this the project-based learning. Learners use their own language, the Arabic language, most of the time to finish the project. Some learners doing nothing, as we mentioned. Groups working at different speeds. So some of the groups will achieve and will carry out all the project in a couple of hours, and so you can ask them to add something to extend their project. We are going to be out of time. Tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe is one of the perfect activities that you can organize and the students will have fun. And some board games are also will help them. Tic-tac-toe. Look at this اللي هو XO اللي احنا بنقول عليه XO. Tic-tac-toe. Look at, we can play. Do you want to play this? We have two teams, males and females. Who want to be X and who wants to be O. For example, X is males or X and females will be O. Choose. We will take turns to play it and see who will win. Who will start? Let's start with males. Which one?
Yes.
Yes. Which number would you choose? And tell me.
Great.
Yes. Which one?
8. Encourage.
Okay, 8. Okay, 8. This is yours. X. Encourage. Encourage comes with 2. I should ask you, but I was in a hurry because we are going to.
Yes.
Okay,
Answers come to me.
The next one. One of the females, choose the number.
Yes, number 1.
Okay, number 1. Oh, okay. Start comes with which one? 2 or ing?
2.
Both of them. Let's see the answer.
Both of them.
Yes, both. The next time. Males, sorry.
Number female or male?
5. Okay. Okay, 5. Practice comes with
ing.
Yes, ing. Excellent. The next one, O, females.
9.
Number
9.
7.
Yes, 7 or 9.
7, Miss Asma.
Okay, 7. Okay, 7. Love comes with
G.
ing and 2 plus infinitive. Yes. Next, X. One of the males. Choose number.
2.
Number 2. Okay. Number 2. Struggle comes with
2.
Yes, 2 plus infinitive. Excellent.
12,
What
Miss.
else? Yes.
12.
3.
Whose turn is it? Whose turn is it?
3.
3. Okay.
ing.
You want 3? You told me 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
This is
yes,
this
Miss
word.
2 infinitive.
Yes, 2 infinitive. This is the word afford. One of the males.
Yes, 11.
Yes, you are the winner. Males won the competition. Okay. This is another game, but I think we have limited time. Thanks for your participation. And this is, let's see it quickly. We have 2 teams, again, males and females, with some words here. And we can ask you to give an example, because most of them are the same, but we have males and females, and we can ask students to give me examples of the word, for example, forget in ing with its meaning of forget to recall information and forget to do something as males or females, something like that, and you will see who will get the best mark, and there will be a kind of competition with your students, and it will be fun to play such a games with students in grammatical points and in different ways. Okay, you can play such things, they will be helpful. I want you to tell me something you learned as a kind of exit ticket, because we are out of time. Tell me something you like first, and ask a question if you have a question. Give me a suggestion, something you learned. Tell me something you learned, something you like. Yes, go ahead.
We learned how to do school project about some lesson with steps and how to make it good or how to make it productive.
Excellent.
I like the pronunciation. It's very good and very it's very good and very useful to me and my students.
Thanks.
My suggestion.
Thanks a lot.
Can I give my suggestion?
Yes, go ahead.
I think it's a common suggestions of all of us to make the rest of this training online.
It's out of my hand, but we will try, because
if someone responsible hears me from British Council, I think we are in the 21st century. It's time of technology. We must make use of this technology, and it saves time and saves effort. I think that is the opinion of all the group. If everyone is with me, please give their thoughts.
Yes, we agree with you, Mr.
I hope so. I hope so, but sometimes we have some exceptions today, but I will try hard to make your voice come to people who are responsible for making the session, and I hope so. I have the same opinion. I will try hard, but I don't promise you, because we have orders and we should submit to the orders. I will inform you on the group if there is a kind of change, because I think most of the whole country work for face-to-face. We took some exceptions just today. Okay. Does anyone want to tell me something new they learned?
Yes, Miss. Stress words was very beneficial. I learned how to use my voice to convey the message.
Yes, excellent. And the stress itself can differ in different words. It doesn't matter function words or content words. The most important thing is the messages that you want to convey to reach the audience. Yes, excellent. What else?
Okay, Ms. Asma.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Amira.
Yes, project-based learning is an educational approach where students learn by engaging in real-world and meaningful projects. Instead of traditional way of memorization or simple tasks, students work in a project that solve their problems or answer a question.
Yes.
Students are also deeply involved in the process, making it interactive.
Yes, good job. So you will try to apply that in your classroom.
Sure.
Yes, excellent. Good.
It also promotes thinking and creativity.
Yes, excellent. Small changes can make difference in people's life. So when you find some groups that work together and be creative, this make you happy and make any visitor who comes to your class to find such things, something to be not traditional, that will be pleased, and you will be over the moon, and your students will be proud of you, because you encouraged them, you guided them throughout the learning process, you put them on the right track to be creative people. Yes, excellent. Does anyone want to share anything? Okay. Thanks a lot for participating. And it's my pleasure to have you today. I hope you enjoyed and benefited, and you can apply that on in your classes. I hope you are excited. If you want to send anything on WhatsApp group, I'm all ears. Thanks a lot. You can leave now. You can leave. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your participation. And welcome, Miss Reen and your group. I'm happy to see you here. Thanks a lot.
It's my pleasure, B.
You can leave. Okay, you can leave. Don't worry.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. See you next time.
يا اما بيموت يا اما بيجيله مرض يا اما والله اللي بيحصل كده شفت كل الناس اللي سافرت عملت كده.
الناس اللي هنطيك هتسافر تقعد هناك هما سنتين تلاتة كان ممكن تبقى فرصة قلت لك هناك ممكن هنروح هناك هناخد لنا فسحة حلوة